Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Monster vs. Monster here on the D&D Exposed... No, wait. D&D CR Exposed YouTube channel. I can almost get that right half the time. Thank you all so much for joining me as we get into this next episode of Monster vs. Monster. And what do we have going on today, you might ask? Well, we have martial artists versus demons. And why do we have martial artists versus demons today? Well, I'll tell you. There is this ancient and secluded shrine here up in these mountains. What mountains, you might ask? I don't know. Mountains. Look around if they're real. And these martial artists and monks in general have been protecting this ancient shrine for centuries. And finally, the demons have combine their forces just a little bit to try and destroy the shrine to unlock the ancient magics and powers within. If they do so, who knows what kind of catastrophic catastrophe these demons could unleash upon the worlds that these characters, reside in. So, this is what they're after. These demons here are trying to destroy this shrine here with its really cool glowing eyes, if you haven't noticed already. To unleash its power and maybe even bring in an elder demon or a greater demon into the world to just cause ultimate chaos here. So, these three potential martial artists here are to help stop the demons from getting away with what they're about to do. And unfortunately, for how long it's taken the monks and martial artists to climb up this mountain here, they were a little late to get to it as the demons are just starting their assault on the ancient shrine here. So, with that, let us begin this game of Monster vs. Monster here by introducing our combatants. For our demons, we have the, a Sire of Insanity, Gozgakid. Then we have a Balor by the name of Raneth, and we have a Hezrou by the name of Ogdrez. Yes, these are our demons that are assaulting the game tonight. And as we can see here, the Balor has its, ring of fire that emanates out from it, and our, basically evolved troglodyte has a nice aura as well of just poison and stench around it. And then for our martial artists, we have Rayla, and Wincairn. Is formerly known as Bak Mei, a legendary martial artist with actions and resistances. And then we have Raylan, who is formerly known as Hlam from Waterdeep Dragon Heist. They also have a few items as well. And then we have Wincairn, who is a monastic high curator. These are our supporting, we'll say, heroes for this match here. And yes, they are all set for friendly. So now that we have our sides, Herr Doctor, you are not late. You are just in time. I haven't even begun the battle yet. I'm just, describing each side here for this battle. With that, we are now ready to jump into round one with the backstory given out and why the demons are assaulting this shrine here up in the mountains. And as we can see, it's snowing, and if you pay attention, even the fires are glowing as well. So, with that, let us start round one of combat. Okay, and with that, we're going to go ahead and give the layer actions, the value of a 20 here. And then from there, we will go ahead and roll our d20s to see who gets to go first. And with that, we have Raylan going first, followed by the layer actions, then Gozgakid, Ogdrez, come on, there we go, Raneth, and Wincairn. So, let us begin round one of combat. Alright, starting off round one, we have Raylan here. And Raylan, let's take a look at what they have for abilities and whatnot. Now, as I stated before, they have 3 legendary actions they can use during their combat. And they have no spellbook. Oh no, they do have a spellbook. I forgot about that. Let's see here. What do we got for spells? We got Guidance, Light, Sacred Flame, Spare the Dying, Detect Evil and Good, Healing Word, which will probably come in handy, Sanctuary, Shield of Faith, Calm Emotions, Prayer of Healing, Silence, Protection from Energy, Remove Curse, and Sending. While most of these spells won't be good for this battle, some of them will be helpful, like the Shield of Faith, or maybe Prayer of Healing. And then on top of that, we also have our unarmed strikes, our darts, multi-attack, quivering palm, which could be handy. Yes, this is the level 20 monk ability to just kill something outright in one shot. Wholeness of body for a quick heal, deflect missiles as a reaction, slow fall as another reaction, which we won't really need this in theory. And then we have, let's see here, quick step as a legendary action, unarmed strike as another, and invisibility as a third option here, as well as a whole bunch of other features: evasion, magic attacks, unarmed defenses, legendary actions, and spellcasting. So this is Raylan, or also known as Hlam from the Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Ian Rivik, hello! Yes, let's do this indeed as we start round 1 here. Hlam is going to go first, and let's take a look here. They have some spells. What could we possibly do with the spells that could be beneficial? Well, we could do a bonus action of Shield of Faith and give that to someone here. Let's see here. What does Shield of Faith do again? A Shimmering Field surrounds your creature of choice with a range, granting them a +2 bonus to AC for the duration. That could be pretty handy. I think I was thinking of something else, but with I probably having to go up into that, we're going to start with a bonus action to give the Shield of Faith ability here. So our bonus action, and there we go, a nice little Shield of Faith there. We are now concentrating on that, Raylan is, and they now have +2 AC for the next 10 minutes or so. Let's see here, Sanctuary, that's what I was thinking of. Yes, Sanctuary was probably the one I actually wanted to cast, but we'll go with Shield of Faith, just because, I already cast it, unfortunately. If that ever goes away, then we will switch it up to Sanctuary. Yeah, let's see here. Concentration. Yes, they are both concentrations. Okay, so that is the bonus action. And then, let's see here. We'll go ahead and might as well target the Balor and see about throwing some darts. So first of all, let's see here. Our darts are what range? They are 20-60, so that means we would have to get pretty darn close in order to attack. Which means, yeah, we would have to be like right about here. So yeah, we'll have Raylan rush up 25 feet. That should put us within 20 feet of the Balor, and go ahead and use the multi-attack for their main action to throw 3 darts. Alright, so dart number 1. Let's see if this works. Oh, good, it's working properly today. As Raynath runs up to start attacking the Balor. With a 5, that is going to miss with a total of 17. Good lord! Oh my god, these guys got some bonuses. Attack number 2 is going to be a natural 20, folks. That is going to indeed be a hit for 11 points of piercing damage, which has been reduced to 5, sadly, because of the whole, being resistant to types of damages and whatnot. And then attack number 3, as Raylan sees that the dart barely does any points of damage. The Bonk Tonk monk for sure. We have another hit. Was it another hit? Yeah, it was another hit for 11 more points of damage. Again, reduced to 11, unfortunately. And Raylan, seeing what's going on, takes a step back from their last bit of movement and ends their turn. Now, folks, we need to go into our lair action, and I'm going to take a look at the polls here, and it seems like we have rock slides. So we are going to go with that as I end the poll for this first lair action, quote unquote, and we will start doing rock slides here. So before we jump into that, I'm going to go ahead and throw in another poll to see about the in-between third round Devastator. And if anyone doesn't know what that is a third party that is usually so destructive. This is like god level monsters that come into play. So we're going to do the between round checks. So we want to go with the high of 100% or lower, or 1% and higher. You will all be the judge. Let me know by the time we hit the end of round 1, we will be using that poll. Alright, so as for the rock slides, sadly I don't have anything fun here, but we're going to do a bit of a quadrant section. So we're going to say, roughly up in this area will be quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4 as rocks start to slide into the area, causing destruction and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and roll a d4. So we have, again, 1, 2, 3, and 4 to see what area is being hit. Oh, not a d6, a d4. Silly me. What is going on here? I keep clicking the wrong button. There we go. Alright, Quadrant 3. Nope, Quadrant 2. So, it looks like we're going to have the Sire of Insanity and a little bit of the, our Balor here being hit by the rock slide. So, as the rocks come sliding in, I'm going to have them make DC 20? Yeah, we'll go with DC 20 to see what happens here. Alright, so let me see something real quick. I wonder if, can I throw that up or not? I don't have it set up. Okay, never mind. Alright, so the Sire of Sanity is going to roll a DC 20 check for dexterity. And with a 10, they fail. And then the Balor will have a slightly reduced because they're not quite in the total zone here. So we're going to have a 15 for the Balor. And with an 11, totaling 13, they both fail, taking... We'll go with 2d10 worth of falling rock damage for this. I mean, they are kind of higher, but we'll go with that. Alright, 2d10 worth of rock sliding damage, and that's going to be a total of 8 points of rocks falling onto them, taking a little bit of bludgeoning damage. Now, let's just see here, because we got to make sure about, yes, non-magical attacks. They are resistant, so they're going to take 4 points. Nothing too special there. And then the Sire of Insanity is going to have the same as well. So they have a little bit of damage here. I might up the damage in a little bit. Who knows? Rocks fall, everyone dies. Basically, you know, giant boulder falls, the game's over. And that is the lair action for round 1. We now move on to I, who is next with the with their you know, Shield of Faith going on. Let's take a look at what they have. They have legendary actions and 2 resistances, which is going to be helpful. They don't have a spell book, which is great, super helpful for me. And they have the following: Thunder Strike, Staff of Striking, Multi-Attack, Heal Self, legendary resistances, Nimble Escape, which is going to be fun, Deflect Missiles, Crane Dance, and Thunder Strike. Now, the Crane Dance will allow them to move without provoking any type of attack of opportunity. They also have the special equipment, which is their Staff of Striking, which has 10 charges and can be used up to 3 times per attack to add an additional 1d6 when hit. And then we have the Unarmored Defense and legendary actions as stated before. Okay, let's see here. What is Bak Mei going to do? Clearly get up into combat here, but he's going to be deciding who is first and foremost the easiest probably target to kill. Now, let's take a look at their attributes here. Intelligence 13, I would consider this high intelligence, not very high intelligence, as if anyone has seen my, you know, DM, what was it, how to play things here. So this is a high intelligence. They definitely know what to do and they can coordinate their attacks, but they're not going to be super strategic about things. So probably thinking maybe bigger is better and go right for the Balor first. Let's see here. How far can he move? 40 feet? That is just out of range, so he's going to have to go ahead and use his Nimble Escape to be able to move. And with that, we can either... Oh, we can only do a disengage or a hide action. We can't actually use that to charge up, which is unfortunate. So, what can we do then after that? We have 5 foot there and 5 feet there. So it looks like instead, he's going to have to go... Yeah, he's going to have to go into a defensive stance and maybe make some space here. So, he'll rush on over, we'll say, 30 feet to here, and then go into a defensive stance for now. Alright, and they go into dodge, and I is pretty much it for his turn, unfortunately. Alright, after that, we move on to Gazkakad. Let's take a look at Gazkakad and see what our Sire of Insanity can do here. So we don't have any legendary actions, no resistances to worry about. We do have a whole bunch of extra features down here, like cold, fire, and lightning resistance, as well as resistance to non-magical attacks, immune to poisons, and a few other things here. We have a small spellbook: Confusion, Mass Suggestion, Clairvoyance, Crown of Madness, Major Image, and Suggestion. And then we also have the Bite, Claws, Multi-Attack, Aura of Mind Erosion. Now, anything obviously within 30 feet would have had to make a check, but I think we should have been fine. Yeah, all the starting characters didn't have to worry about that. So let's see here. Bak Mei, or excuse me, Hlam is within range here, so a creature that starts its turn within 30 feet will have to make that saving throw check. I should have added an aura for him as well, so I could remember that. Oh well. So let's see here. What might be the best option here? Probably going in for some kind of control magic. We can either do Suggestion. Crown of Madness could be fun. or even confusion. Now, the confusion is a 10-foot sphere. Do we want to do that one? 10-foot sphere, 90 feet. Everyone's kind of spread out, so that's kind of pointless right now. So we'll go for Crown of Madness instead. The range is 120 feet, and yeah, the last one there hasn't gone. Karen hasn't gone yet, so he's going to go ahead and target Karen and target her with the Crown of Madness. So let's zoom in here to see what kind of spell effects we might have going on. Alright, and we have ourselves a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw, and Karen succeeds with a 22, fending off the Crown of Madness effect that the Sire of Insanity was attempting to do here. With that, let's see here, take a look at the attributes. With a high intelligence and a very high wisdom, we know the Gazkakad is going to go ahead and back up just a little bit to stay out of range of anything that's going on with these martial artists. Alright. Moving on, we're going to switch on to Ogdrez, who is basically a big-time troglodyte. They got a big old stinky aura, as shown by the, biohazard signs here. We have no legendary actions, no resistances, no spellbook, thank God. And we have the features of Bite, Claw, Multi-Attack, Magic Resistance, and Stench. So that's the one thing that the, the biohazard signs are giving off, is the Stench here. So our Hezrou can go ahead and make 1 bite and 2 attacks with its claws for a total of 3 attacks. And since, there's a humanoid right here, might as well rush right on up and attack this one. So Ogdrez moves up to I and starts the assault. We go in for a bite and then 2 claw attacks. Bite number 1 is going to be at disadvantage, a total of 15, which misses I's defense of 19. And then we have, wrong character. Then we have 2 claw strikes. So it's going for attack number 2 at disadvantage. That's going to be a natural 2, unfortunately. Misses and then goes in. Oh, no, that was a bite. And for some reason, the claw attack did not switch over. Let me see something real quick here. If I drag this here. Weird. Why is that not... it's not updating down here for some reason. There's some kind of an error in the module I'm using here. So, we'll go ahead and take that as a miss, and then we'll go for the last attack here from the claws. So, with a base 8, total of 15 to hit, that misses A as well, as Hezrou's 3 attacks are completely missed because of A's dodging actions there. Alright, that is the end of Ogdrez's turn, and we move on to Ranith. Alright, Ranith is our Balor, and with an intelligence of 20 and a wisdom of 16, this one can definitely be calling some shots here and directing people to attack. So, considering no one has proven to be more lethal than the others, Ranith is going to go ahead and start attacking probably Raylan at the beginning here, and go and seeing that Ogdrez had completely missed A's like crane stance dances, and we'll go in for the attack. But before we do that, let's take a look at some of these legendary actions we have available here. So we have the crane dance and thunder strike. We can do that for 2 legendary actions. So as Ogdrez's attack turn ends, we're going to go ahead and have A do a thunder strike here. So, just off the top here, real quick, the stench affects any creature that starts its turn within 10 feet. So, I technically hasn't started their turn yet, so they're not affected by the poison. And we'll go ahead and do a Thunder Strike for 2, getting in a legendary action attack here. So, we're going to go ahead and roll the dice against Ogdrez. Hezrou sounds a lot like Hasbro. Yeah, it kind of does. Okay, so with that, we have a total of 17 to hit, which does indeed hit for 3 points of damage. And it seems as though... Oh, wow, that is it. The Staff of Striking only does a little bit of damage and will hit for a total of full damage. So we're going to go ahead and add in 2 of the Staff's abilities here for force damage. So we can expend, when we hit, up to 3 of the Staff's charges, and for each expended charge, the target takes an additional 2d6. So we're going to do 2 more d6s to add in additional damage here. So that'll be an additional 10 points of probably force damage. Excellent. Alright, I comes in swinging that staff like, really awesome martial arts movie monks do, and just hits the ground, slaps Ogdrez a few times, and moves on with that attack. let's see here. Raylan has some legendary actions as well. Probably could have gone... Yeah, we're actually going to have him go invisible. Because he can do that, he's going to go invis. So this will be his full legendary action at the point, and he is now invisible. And just completely disappears from the Balor's vision. As the Balor's turn comes up, our monk has somehow gone invisible. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, we didn't have that, and... we didn't have that. Okay, so we're good there. Now, as for the Balor, what is the Balor going to do? Yeah, the Balor's actually going to... now that Raylan's gone invisible, he's going to go over to A and start attacking. So let's see here. What do we have for the attacks? We have the longsword, which can reach 10 feet, and the whip that can reach 30 feet. Okay. Hey, it's my brother! Hey, Chris, how you doing, bud? Glad to see you joined up on the live stream. Having some fun here playing with my toys, Monster vs. Monster. Everyone in chat, that's my brother. Alright, let's go ahead and have this Balor move in to start attacking I. And just real quick, the fire aura is only 5 feet, I believe, right? Yeah, 5 feet. So he could move right in for 40 feet or 80 feet flying. So he'll just, you know, flap his wings and go in there. Yeah, let's get in here and flap in, land, and then have I in on that fire damage. Alright, so attack number 1 is going to be the longsword, and just to double check here, the multi-attack is 1 of each. Okay. So, longsword attack on I is going to be at disadvantage. A base 3 misses I with a 17. Good lord, that is a lot to hit. And then comes in with the fiery whip next. With a base 5... that cannot be deflected, and I is hit for the first time with a whip, although it looks like a longsword for some reason, and is dealt 24 points of slashing and... oh wait, that's why that happened. Okay, gotta revert that. Hold on real quick. We're gonna take the roll here for the whip, because the darn monster's things aren't going in. We're just gonna go ahead and do the damage here. Alright, so that's gonna be a total of... what is that, 20 points of damage to I instead? Okay, that's better. And, yeah, so that will be the Balor's turn. And we'll, basically stick with that. Does the Balor have True Sight? Yes, it does! Yeah, so he totally could have done that. Well, you know what? Ganging up on one target is kind of the way to go, so... sure, the Balor could have seen Raylan, and the invisibility is kind of a moot point. Thank you, Ian. Totally forgot about that part. Gotta check like 100 different things when you're doing this. It's ridiculous. Okay, and with that, we will move on to Win Karen, who is our spellcaster, basically. No legendary actions, no resistances. We do have a spellbook of Detect Thoughts, Identify, Scrying, and Detect Magic. Unfortunately, these spells aren't going to help here, but we do have... Force Strike from range, which is going to be super helpful. Now, did I set this up? Yes, I did give it an animation. Good. And with that, we have a multi-attack of 3 Force Strike attacks, and then uses Brain Burn if available. So let's take a look at Brain Burn real quick. The High Curator targets up to 2 creatures it can see within 30 feet of itself. Each creature must make a save, and then takes a whole bunch of psychic damage, and can't take reactions until the end of its next turn. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage, and suffers no other effects. So, we want to get within range of 2 targets, and we are currently 35 feet away from there. So, Win Karen, with a movement of 60 feet? Are you kidding me? Sure. 30 feet dashes up past Raylan, who has gone invisible, and targets both of the Balor and the Ogdras here. So, with that, we will go ahead and start the ranged assaults here. Yes, that did not update, which is super annoying. Okay, so we're going to have to go off of the character sheet here, and we will start with the Balor, who seems to be the bigger threat here, and goes in for 3 Force Strike attacks at range. Oh, 20 feet. All right, well, I'll just quickly update that, and there we go. Oh, come on, what is going on here? Oh, 10 feet away. Jeez. Okay, well, had the movement. I will just readjust to get right outside of the fire range there, and go in for the Force Strike attacks. There we go. Let's try this again. With a base 2, the first attack unfortunately is going to be a miss. Attack number 3 is going to be a 7, which also misses. And then attack number 3 is going to be a 22 to hit. That deals 17 points of force damage to the Balor or Raneth. And then we go in for the Brain Burn attack. Alright, targeting both of these creatures here, we do the Brain Burn. And Brain Burn has no available uses remaining. Why does it not have available uses remaining? Let's take a look at this real quick. Okay, now it's charged. It should have been charged. I don't know why it wasn't. Let's go ahead and go in for the attack here. So, a whole bunch of D6s come rolling in. And we've got Ogdres succeeds with a 20. Okay. One more thing. Why did that not target 2 enemies? Weird. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this check as well real quick. We'll take the first amount of damage here. Okay. So now that the targets have successfully been hit, we're for 21 points of psychic damage. We have a 18 constitution check. Ogdres succeeds with a 20, and the Balor Raneth succeeds with a 24. So they'll take half of the 21, dealing 10 points of damage. So we will go ahead and revert that one real quick, and subtract 10 instead from the Balor. Okay, so that was approximately 25 feet of movement there, and then we will go ahead and completely back up another 35 feet to get the 60 feet out. Actually, we'll have her come down here away from the Sire of Insanity as well. Okay, that is the end of our first round of combat here, and I'm going to go ahead and end the poll for between round checks. So it looks like with 67% of the votes, we're doing 100% and lower this time here, folks. So before we get into the last round check, we're going to go ahead... Oh, excuse me. We're going to go ahead and post the last poll for the game here. And the question, as I always ask, who's going to win this battle? And we have 3 options. We will have Team Demons, Team Monks, or Team Mountain Rumble. Alright, you guys decide who of these 3 is potentially going to be the winner for this week's episode of Monster vs. Monster here. Alright, now, with 6 likes on the stream, and if you haven't liked the stream, please do. Because the more likes there are, the more likelihood we will have the third-party Devastator come in for the attack and just completely destroy this place. Alright, we are doing 6% right now, as we have 6 likes on the channel, so that's going to be 100 to 95? 100? 9, 8, 6. Oh, no. Yeah, 100 to 96. So we will go ahead and roll the D100. Let's see what we get. 59. We have a 59, and unfortunately, any third-party Devastators won't be affecting the match this time. Return to Monk. Let's go, Monks! Yes! Alright, so, top of round 2, we have Raylan, who has been invisible for a little while here, and has the advantage against maybe Ogdres? Do they have True Sight? No, they have Dark Vision. Let's see here, who else might have True Sight? Ah, yes, Sire of Insanity. So invisibility is kind of pointless at this moment here. So let's see here. With a movement speed of 60, good lord, these monks can move. We're going to go ahead and have Raylan rush on up to flank the Ogdres and go in for the attacks. So we're going to go ahead and have that bank go in, and goes in to start whooping some butt on Ogdres. And with flanking here, we're going to have our advantage attacks, and let's see here. Just so we know what's going on for attacks, we have Quivering Palm, multi-attack, a 3 unarmed strike. So let's go in for that multi-attack. We'll save the Quivering Palm maybe for the Balor in a moment here. Alright, and with that we will go ahead and have Ogdres targeted, and Raylan is going in for the attack as we make him visible. Alright, unarmed strike number 1 is going to be a base 8. Oh, no, there they come. Total of 20. That hits Ogdres for... let's see here. What is going on? DC 18 strength saving throw. Ogdres fails with an 18. Should have dealt some damage. So why are we not dealing damage? This should be a 1d10 plus 7. Let's double check this real quick. Ah, the damage formula wasn't put in place. Ah, man. Yeah, I'll just have that plus 7 for now. Okay. So let's go ahead and roll that damage for Ogdres, who's going to take 11 points of damage. Now, just real quick, his attacks are magic attacks. So yes, the full damage goes through because he has magical fists. And then the target failed. So, failed the strength save, and now we choose one of the following effects. The target either drops any weapons it's holding, which he doesn't, makes a dexterity saving throw, be knocked prone, or is stunned. So we're going to go ahead and say, what was this? We don't have the roll. Oh, here's the roll. Okay, so it was a d20 for a 5. Okay, and definitely want that constitution save. So I'm going to switch this for all stunning attacks, because making something prone is almost pointless. So let's double check this real quick and make that a constitution save. There we go. Very good. And we're going to stun this dude, because stunning is going to be so much more helpful. And Ogdres is now stunned. So stunned creatures incapacitated, can't move, and can't speak, only faltering. Creatures automatically fail strength and dex saves, and rolls against the creature have advantage. So let's go ahead and finish off these last 2 unarmed strikes. And with a advantage, we have a total of 17 hit Ogdres again for, let's see here, 12 points of damage, and that does go through. Ogdres fails again, is just going to continue being stunned. We could knock him prone as well, which it would be funny, but it's kind of pointless. And then goes in for one more unarmed strike. With a natural 6, that is going to be a total of 18 to hit for 8 more points of magical fist-punching action, and drops Ogdren down to almost half health. And that is going to be Raylan's turn as his legendary actions are restored. Up next is the lair action. So let's zoom out a little bit here, and we will have our quadrants once again. Starting from the center point here, the quadrants will go from a 9 o'clock to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6, and 3 to 9. So anything down here will be in the 4th position as I roll a d4 to see what section gets hit by a rock slide that's growing in strength. Alright, oh goodness, it's going to be quadrant 4. Okay, so we got a little bit of math going on here as more rocks come sliding down as the mountain itself begins to quake and rumble from whatever sources of madness are going on here as the monsters are attacking. Okay, let's double check some things real quick here. We do have evasion, so if Raylan succeeds the dexterity check of, we'll go with a DC 20, they take no damage instead, or only half if on a fail. And for they do not have evasion, so they may take the full damage here. So, DC 20 is what we're looking for. We will start with Raylan here, and our dexterity save is going to be a 16 plus for a total of 28. Takes no damage from the falling rocks in this area, making the area maybe, hard to walk in. Maybe, what's the word I'm looking for? Totally forgot it. We're going to move on. Ogdres is next for the dexterity save, taking 3d10 points of damage this time, and with a negative 87? What in the world? What? Minus 100. How did that happen? Okay, regardless. Let's see here. 10 plus a 3. I don't know how that minus 100 got in there. Oh, because they're stunned. That's why. They completely failed. That's really funny, actually, that they put in an extra 100. Okay, yeah, totally fails, and is going to take 3d10 points of damage. I is next with the dexterity save, and that's going to be a total of 15, and that's going to be a fail, unfortunately. And then Raneth, with their dexterity save, is going to also fail. So, Raylan takes no damage, and everyone else takes full damage here of 3d10 points of falling rock damage. And that's going to be a total of 20 points of damage. Now, as we know before, our demons here have resistance to this damage, so they're going to take half of that, unfortunately. And let's see here. What else have we got? What else? We got 10 points there, and then poor Eye is going to take full damage from this. All right, and just to double check here, they are only resistant to thunder. We do not have thunder damage. We have falling bludgeoning damage. So that's going to be a total of 20 points there for Eye, sadly. All right, that is our lair action, and up next is Eye. Let's see here. As Raylan's turn ends, what did we use for... Oh yeah, we had the strike. So before his turn ends, let's go ahead and use that last one to do Crane Dance, maybe? I feel like that might be the better option to do here. Do I want to do the Crane Dance? Moves 20 feet, doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity? Yeah, definitely does. So he's going to do the last legendary action to move and get out of dodge, moving up next to Raylan as both of them just start doing, you know, crazy One Punch Man attacks as these two old monks just start fighting against these demons here. Alright, gets out of the fire aura, taking no fire damage as their turn begins, and we go in for the attacks against Ogdres here from I. Now, he did start his turn, so he's going to have to make a poison check, I believe, against the stench here. Any creature that starts his turn must succeed against a Constitution save. So let's go ahead and roll that Constitution save. And let's see here. That's going to be a total of 17 and is not poisoned until the start of the next turn. And is now immune, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. No more immune effects for I, thankfully. Okay. Let's go ahead and get in for the multi-attacks here, because we don't have a spellbook. Alright, that can be 3 attacks, twice with Thunderstrike and once with the Staff of Striking. So let's go ahead and make these Thunderstrikes as the legendary actions are restored. So attack number 1 against Ogdres is going to be, let's see here, a base 12, total of 21, hits for 11 points of thunder damage. And that brings Ogdres down into crippled and bloodied state. Attack number 2 is going to be a base 17. Again, hits for 26 points of damage, dealing an additional 15 points of thunder damage. And we have something going on here. What's with the Constitution save? Totally missed that. Oh! They are deafened and stunned until the start of Bak Mei's next turn. So they are extra stunned, for sure. Jeez. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw deafened on as well. Alright, there we go. Ogdres is now deafened as well. So that is the first 2 attacks. Now we're going to go ahead and hit for that Staff of Striking. And with a base 2, that is unfortunately going to be a miss. As I's turn comes to an end. We move on to Gozkakad here, the Sire of Insanity. So let's take a look here and see what our Sire can potentially do for effects in here. We do have the spellbook. Actually, let's drag it over here. Now, we already used a Crown of Madness, which is innate. Do we have a limit? It looks like we can just do that all the time. At will. We have Clairvoyance, Crown of Madness, Suggestion, and Major Image. And then we have once per day Confusion and Mass Suggestion. Alright, let's take a look at the Mass Suggestion. And that range is going to be 60 feet. And creatures, 12 creatures. So you suggest a course of action and magically influence up to 12 creatures of the choice. Definitely stunned. Yes, that is for sure, Chris. Alright, let's have the Sire of Insanity come in and do a mass suggestion against all of the heroes here. So we can move up to 40 feet. We're going to come right down to here and then probably back up another 10 feet or so. And go ahead and make a whole bunch of targets here. Alright, they are all being targeted, and now we go in for the mass suggestion. This could be bad. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there we go. Targeting 1, targeting 2, and targeting 3. Alright, and how do I get it to go? It wants 12 targets. Oh, that's annoying. Let me fix something here real quick. I'm just going to do 3 targets. There we go. Cast the spell. Okay, we got mass suggestion coming in here. We have a DC 18 wisdom saving throw. And when Karen fails with an 11, Raylan fails with a 15, and I succeeds with a 24. I has legendary resistance. Let's see here. I does indeed have legendary resistance, I believe. Yes, and he's going to go ahead and pass. Well, he already succeeded, which is good, but also bad because none of the other monks have legendary resistances, which means Gazkakad tells both Win-Karen and Raylan to leave. That's what they have to do on their next turn. They have to leave the map. Okay. With that, we were going to go ahead and have the Sire of Insanity move back the additional 10 feet and watch as two of the monks here leave the battle. All right, Ogdrez is up next, and he's going to go ahead and be stunned. That's all he can do. He can't really do much of anything else. He's stunned. All right, that's the end of Ogdrez's turn. Reineth is up next, and he's going to go ahead and, hearing that the Sire of Insanity has caused two of the people to leave, he's going to go ahead and start attacking the last one that wasn't affected. And, you know, have some fun here. So, with the flying speed of 80 feet, he's going to go ahead and flap his wings on over to the other side here and start attacking I. Yes, perfect. Okay, so, with that, we go ahead and start attacking I with the fire ring just barely touching. Okay. Raneth comes in for the two attacks that it can do with the longsword and the whip, and goes in for some attacks. Alright, attack number 1 with the longsword is going to be a base 5, total of 19, and that will hit for... Wow, that's a lot of D8s, D10s, D8s? 35 points of slashing and lightning damage, and I has been brought down to bloody. Next is the whip attack, as I is struck for a 17, and is dealt a total of 34 points of slashing and fire damage, and I has been dropped and defeated. Unfortunately, I is, I think, potentially dead. Let's see here. Is there anything he could have done? We have legendary actions of Crane Dance, which wouldn't have helped. Thunderstrike and deflect missiles. Yeah, no. It looks like this may be it for I. Alright. Looks like that is the end there. And up next is Win-Karen. She has been suggested to leave the mountain. And that is exactly what she does, without a second thought. So, double movement, 120 feet. Let's get here. Let's see here. That's going to be 60 down to there. Starts mad dashing down. And then another 25, 45, and 60. As Win-Karen leaves the map. Alright, that is the end of round 2. And with that, we come to the inter-round check. Yes, no, I didn't see that coming at all. Alright, with that, we take our D100 check to see. Let's double check here. We have currently 6 likes on the channel, so again, we will be checking for 100 to 95 to see if our third round party comes in. With a 5% chance, it's possible. Weirder things have happened. And with a 12, unfortunately, the third round Devastator will not be coming in this round, at least. Let's go on to the top of round 2, as Raylan goes in and begins to leave the map as well. With 60 foot of movement, he just goes ahead and rushes right on off. That's going to be 50, 60 feet to there. And then again, another additional 50, 60 feet to there. Alright, that is Raylan's turn. And we move on to the lair action. So once again, we will be doing our quadrants from the section here. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see what happens. Quadrant 4. And with that, we have more falling bricks coming in, falling stone, rock slides coming down with an increased damage of 4d10. It looks like Ai's body is going to be crushed under the weight of the stones, and Ogdrez has to make a dexterity save of DC 20. And with that, we have a natural 1 and stunned for a negative 96 here. Boy, that's a lot. And takes 4d10 worth of falling damage. And that's going to be a total of 15 points of damage, reduced to 7 because of their resistance to non-magical bludgeoning damage. Still bloodied, but it looks like we are coming to an end here pretty quick here, folks. Up next would have been I, but unfortunately I has been defeated and dead. Then following that is Gauss-Kakad, who takes a position over to here, to the right side, and begins attacking the statue with its cool little glowing eyes. After that is Ogdrez, who finally loses the effects and is no longer stunned. May still be deafened, but sees what's going on with Ogdrez and moves over to begin attacking the shrine and starts attacking as well. And then lastly we have Raneth, who moves into position and begins attacking the shrine as well. Just starts pummeling as all three demons are just destroying this shrine, potentially starting to break free the powers within for whatever maniacal reasons they are attacking this monk shrine. Last, we have Win-Karen for round 3. Oops. Who is all the way down here and rushes off the map as she has been directed to. 50 feet down, that's going to be 10 feet off the map, and is effectively off the map and has listened to the maneuvers. So the question is here, considering this is a giant mountain shrine, there's probably a lot further way to go, and sadly Win-Karen is continuing to go down as per the suggestion here. The end of round 3, we go in for the in-between round checks for the third round Devastator, and with 6 likes on the channel, we go ahead and roll again. 95 to 100, folks, with an 81. The third round Devastator does not appear, and we go back to the top of round 4. Raylan is also following suit, moving 60 feet to follow the instructions as per what was given to him. And that's 25. Let's see here. A little bit more to go. 25 and 35 should be that. And then rushes off the map as well. Sadly, both monks have now left the map. And this is where we will end tonight's battle here, folks. It looks like as the map and as the demons have successfully thwarted the monks' attempts to defend their ancient shrine, the shrine itself is completely pummeled and destroyed, and the demons here unleash whatever powers lie within underneath it, unleashing all sorts of new hells upon the world in this remote region of the world. Thank you all so much for joining me. Let's end the poll here and see who thought would win the battle. With 75% of the vote, 75% of you thought that the monks would win this one, 25% for the demons. So those of you who voted for the demons, congratulations, you voted correctly. The demons did in fact win this version, or win tonight's game of Monster vs. Monster here on the D&D CR Exposed YouTube channel. Germinator goes, never mind, bad humanoids. Yes, they tried their best, but unfortunately could not do anything against the demons. They were working on defeating Ogdrez, but it just did not work with that Sire of Insanity casting the mass suggestion to leave. Alright everyone, thank you all so much for joining me. Let's get into the business here. The virtual tabletop of choice is Foundry Tabletop. My brother calls bullshit. Indeed, bullshit indeed. If these were if these were heroes and actual PCs, this would be a different story for sure. But unfortunately, this is just how the dice rolled. Yes, back to the business. The virtual tabletop of choice is Foundry Virtual Tabletop. I moved from Roll20 to Foundry, paid my $50 one-time payment, and haven't looked back since. And I tell you, with every other virtual tabletop except for Owlbear Rodeo being a paid service, and you could also, use Roll20 for free, but who wouldn't want all these little extra effects? This will this will make its money back within 3 to 6 months of using any other serviced virtual tabletop, I promise you. And it doesn't take a lot to get these sorts of things going here. It's a lot of fun. It's so great. Now, the music for tonight's event was by RPG Music Maker here on YouTube, and this is the I Am the Ancient, I Am the Land song. I will have that updated in the description below. The names were by FantasyNameGenerators.com. What else we got? Oh yes, particle effects. Particle effects were by JB2A Automated Assets. You can find their website there. So all of these little extras were by them. And the battle map itself was by Che Peku. Che and Peku, you can find them at patreon.com/ChePeku. They don't sponsor me. I just back them on Patreon. I love their work, and they allow me to use their battle maps for live streams like this. So thank you all so much for joining me, especially my brother. Big shout out to my brother for joining me for tonight's Monster vs. Monster. It was a pleasure having you here and a complete surprise. Good to see you again, Chris. We will chat later on at some point. Germinator, Ian Ravik, and Hair Doctor, a big thanks to all of you as well for joining me for tonight's game. I gotta check one quick thing here. I want to see who the participants are. Okay, looks like Hair Doctor may be gone. I'm only seeing 3 participants at the moment. But in any event, this has been me, Andrew, playing, commenting, and being, you know, the monster controller and overall DM for this game, saying thank you all so much for joining me, and as always, I ask the question, are your encounters even rated? Thank you all so much for joining me, folks, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow for our adventures, the Sidequesters adventures in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, playing the Abomination Vaults at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you can join me, that would be super great. If not, I will see you hopefully next Monday for another episode of Monster vs. Monster here on YouTube. Thank you all so much for joining me, and good night, folks!